Hello and welcome. My name is Kai Zhuang. My Chinese name is Zhuang Kaihua. I will be your instructor for ENG1101. That's Renaissance Engineering 1. This is a course at Lausanne School of Engineering, first year introductory engineering course. So this course is considered the flagship course at Lausanne School of Engineering by many professors, and the reason is that this is the first course where you will be building essential competencies for your future engineering practice. Really, you're going to be learning how to be an engineer. And more than that, we, the teaching team, and are really leading the way with a lot of educational innovations, and we're quite proud of that. So, as with any kind of innovative endeavor, right? We're going to be getting outside the box or breaking the box in many cases. How this shows up in this course is that this course is really quite different from any of your previous learning experience that you may have had, whether this is in high school or if you have done a previous undergraduate program. This course is quite different. And and in fact, it's quite different from many of your courses you'll be experiencing here at Lausanne. So because of that, please consider this video as your learning guide, as your guide map for doing well in this class. And you're also going to be receiving a PDF version of the slide deck that you can refer back to, so you don't have to keep watching this video again. And we really want to say that we believe everyone can do very well in this class, as long as you know exactly what this class is about, what you're expected to do, and then you put in the effort of doing it. So, Renaissance Engineering 1, this class has three themes, which is in the long title: ethics, creative problem solving, and communications. And this three themes is broken down into 5 modules in our course. First module is introduction, which this video is a part of. Then you have one module, module 2 on ethics, module 3 on creative problem solving, and finally module 4 for communication, and that covers the 3 themes individually. And at the end, we're going to tie the 3 themes together, the 3 areas of learning together in module 5, which is your synthesis and integrated project. As with any learning experience, it's really a learning journey. And your learning journey here at ENG1101 is actually each week, it's quite similar, right? So each week, what you're going to be experiencing is that you're going to start by going to eClass, which is the online platform here at York, and you're going to watch some videos. You're going to possibly read a couple articles as we recommend, and there might be very small activities, reflection activities for you to think about. And this is where you would be learning most of the base foundational knowledge, right? And once you come to class, and each week there is a live class, that's where we synthesize these knowledge, we put this knowledge in context, and we're going to have a lot of collaborative learning experiences where you're going to work together with your peers in order to really acquire the skills that you need. And after the class, you are going to attend your tutorial or the mentorship program. So the tutorial is either on the day of the live class or live class on Tuesday. So tutorial is either on Tuesday or 2 days later on Thursday. And the mentorship program is once every 2 weeks. You're going to have a mentorship session, and it's really important for you to both practice your learning and also in some cases extend your learning. And finally, so all of this is happening each week. And after every module, which can be between 1 to 4 weeks, you're going to have an assignment. So each module, there's assignment. For module 1, 3, 4, 5, these are individual assignment you're doing by yourself. And for module 2, this is a guild assignment. So guild is a group that you're assigned to, a team you're assigned to at the beginning of the semester, and for the rest of the semester, you are going to not only work on these assignments together, but you're going to be the basis of supporting, be each other's basis to support each other in your learning journey. So I want to very quickly talk about the grading system, which it's very different than what you have experienced in the past. And I drew two pictures, A plus and F, and really we have a lot of students with A plus, but we also do have in the past significant number of students who didn't do as well. And a lot of it is really having paid attention or understood what you're asked to do until it's too late, right? So really pay attention to this part as I talk you through. So there's three components to the grading system. The assignments, there's no exam, just so you know, there's 5 assignments. And the goal of the assignments is for you to demonstrate your learning, which is your knowledge, the skills you're meant to build, and the capacity you're meant to build. And the assignments give you your base grade, and your base grade can be A, B, C, D, and F. And after each assignment, so you submit your assignment, your TA is going to give you your base grade, and TA is going to give you feedback on what you did well and what you didn't do well. We'll go into specific of that later. But after you receive your feedback, you have an opportunity in 1 week, the 1 week from when you receive your feedback to resubmit your assignment. And this really gives you an opportunity to learn from your mistake and improve your grade. So in fact, if you get initial grade of F, you can very well, if you address all the feedback that's given to you, get an A, right? So in this way, we hope to really, through this method, really get the message to you that learning is about learning from mistakes. It's really about we want you to explore, and we want you to actually see what you're insufficient at, and based on the feedback, get better at it. So the third component is your engagement points, and this is based on your tutorial mentorship. It's to encourage you to participate actively, and with the engagement points, you can get either a plus by participating, a plus mark, or nothing. So if you get a plus mark, you go from A to A plus, from B to B plus, etc., or else you just don't have that plus. So let's talk about the assignment system and how the overall base grade is assigned, right? Your overall grade is not an average of your grade or a sum of your grade. It's not an average and it's not a sum, right? So you have 5 modules, and which leads to 5 assignments. And for each assignment, if you're either able to demonstrate your learning or not, and for assignment 1, you can get either A or F. For assignment 2, 3, 4, 5, you may get A, B, C, D, and F. And these form the basis of your base grade for the overall course. So your overall base grade is the lowest of all assignment grades. So I want to repeat that, right? Remember, this is not a sum or an average of your assignment grade. Your overall base grade is the lowest of your assignment grade. And immediately we're going to have students that's going to say, oh, this is not fair, professor. This is not fair. Okay, so before we're going to just look at an example, right? So if you have A, B, B, A, D, because your 5th is D, you're going to have an overall grade of D. And if, say, for example, you get A, F, and A, that lowest grade would be F, and then you're going to fail the course, even though rest is A. And again, this is really where students start to say, no, this is not fair. I did so well. I worked really hard, and we've heard all of this, right? I worked really hard, and I just didn't understand the material. Now, if you don't understand the material and initially receive an F, or any grade, or even a B, you're not satisfied, I want to remind you, first is that there's resubmission opportunity, right? Within a week, you can address everything that you've done wrong, and usually this really takes 2 hours or 3 hours at most. It doesn't take a lot of the time, right? And you can get a better grade. And then also, why do we do it this way? I really want to talk to you about the why so you understand. This course has three very distinct skill sets. We have ethics, we have creative problem solving, and finally, we have communication. These are somewhat overlapping, but ultimately distinct skill sets. So let's take this example of a student A, who is very good at creative problem solving, have an A, very good at communication, have an A, but maybe have some trouble with ethics and just really don't understand what are moral choices with respect to engineering technology. So A, and F. Well, what should I give this student? Should I pass this student? If we take the average, and all the students say, let's take the average, right? So maybe this person get a C, I don't know, right? Does that work? I'm gonna give an example of what this student could be like. Now, recognizing is a hypothetical and almost extreme example. We have Lex Luthor, who is Lex Luthor is a comic book character from DC Comics, very good at creative problem solving. He's an evil genius. Very good at communication, oration, great communicator, great entrepreneur. He's a supervillain. We recognize this is extreme case, right? It's hypothetical. It's for laughs. But on the other hand, it's a little scary, isn't it? Right? Can we have engineers and we recognize how important, how powerful technology is, right? Do we want to give this power of technology to someone who have questionable ethics? I think that's really that's problematic, right? And I think that's the same with respect to creative problem solving. Do we want an engineer who's have very good ethics, who can communicate very well but can't solve problems, or an engineer who can't communicate well, right? And so we see these three as essential skills. We want to make sure everyone from our class have these skills and capacities, and that's why we decided to do grading system this way. Now, the other part of assignment system that's also quite different is each assignment has a list of requirements, and each requirement has a level associated with it based on its difficulty. So level D requirement is easiest, level A requirement is hardest, and your job is to satisfy as many as possible. So almost if you see this this visual, your job is to fill up the empty boxes. So fill up the requirements, as many as possible. And you want to fill up from bottom up, right? You want to fulfill all the level D requirement before you get to level C, then you get to level B, then level A, because your grade is determined to be the highest level where the level and all previous levels have been satisfied. So in this case, level D has been satisfied, level C has been satisfied, level B has not been satisfied, level A has not been satisfied, therefore this person has a C. So let's take another couple examples. So in this particular students, they did not satisfy level A, they did not satisfy level B, they satisfy level C, level D, the highest level where the level and all previous level have been satisfied is C, so the grade is C. What happens if you satisfy A, satisfy level B, satisfy level C, but not level D? Well, that's a failing grade, right? Because your highest level doesn't exist. You did not satisfy your level D. Okay, this sounds again very much. Students going to say, no, this is not fair. This is too hard, too harsh. Okay, why this way? Let's consider a example. And this is a very real example. We're taking away student's name, we're taking away, I've changed the wording a little bit. So, but this is real situation that's happened in the past. So we've had a level D requirement where communication must be appropriate, and which really means just don't be rude, right? It's a very basic skill, and not only as a practicing engineer, future engineer, and really just a well-behaving citizen of planet Earth. Okay, so we have a student. Let's say this student happen to be a male student who's addressing a female TA and essentially say, hey, you do this for me. Very rude, with undertone of sexism. Should I pass this student? Right? When the student communicates this way, and in fact, we've had students communicate this way within assignment setting, right? Well, let's imagine this at a workplace. So what happens if a person that actually did this, right? First, you're going to get a talking to with the human resource department, and then your boss is going to be like, you're fired. And then we have student that's really unhappy, or future engineer that's unhappy. And we would really like to avoid this situation, right? And that's why if you look at the level D requirements, all of the level D requirements are foundational. They're foundational. They're very much similar to this. It's actually, if you do your assignments and if you submit your assignment, if you do it according to the requirements, you shouldn't have any problem. Now, we do have a lot of students that says, oh my God, this system is so harsh, right? First, I want to actually show you the data, and this is from last term fall, to both show you that this is a course you can do very well. We have 34% of students with A+. We have 17% of students with B+, right? We have actually quite little students with in between, and also because of the plus system, most students do get that plus grade. And then we have 18% of students now that has an F. Now, some of the students have since dropped the course, but this varies between, let's say, 10 to 18%. So we still have a significant amount of students that does not do well at all, while we have majority of students, this is over 60%. Right? Am I doing my calculation? No, 51%. So we have 51% of students getting A or B. This is a very, with respect to rest of the rest of York, this is a very class with a very high grading distribution, right? But with a lot of students failing, so what's happening? Well, these are students who did not take advantage of the resubmission system. So remember, I talked briefly about the resubmission system. So initially, you can submit, and you make a submission, and you're going to get your feedback from your TA. You're all going to get it together, all of the class, and your TA is going to say you fulfilled level C, you fulfilled level D, you're missing 4 in B and 3 in A, and they're going to give you brief reasons why this is. From here, you have 1 week within receiving this feedback to get better grade. And again, I don't expect any students, if you read and follow the requirement, to actually fail the class. The students who did failing either did not submit assignments, which automatically you fail, or they simply didn't follow the instruction. And the instructions are fairly straightforward, or they said something quite inappropriate and then didn't resubmit, right? So because of the resubmission system, as long as you do the work, I expect most of you to be in this range, right? I'm hoping that this term with this video, we're going to get even more students that's in the A+, B+ category, and less students in the F category. Okay, then finally, I want to talk about the engagement points, which is it's a quite straightforward system. So we have 10 tutorials and 5 mentorship sessions spread out through the semesters, which each tutorial session and each mentorship session give you 1 point. So you get a total of 10 plus 5 equal to 15 points. To get a plus grade is that if you have greater or equal to 12 points. Not a lot, so you can miss 3 sessions. No questions asked. If you miss more than 3 sessions, and then you get nothing, right? So your final grade is your base grade plus your plus grade. And so one exception, and it's not really exception, just to make you notice, is assignment 1, which includes a academic honesty quiz and a syllabus quiz. You do this through e-class platform, you either get an A or you fail. And this is the only case where you can try as many times as possible, and you can essentially resubmit and retry throughout the semester. And if you fail, if you don't get an A. The reason is academic honesty is such a crucial part of your university learning experience, university life. If really this is, when we say academic honesty, we're talking about cheating and evading and plagiarism. When you make an academic offense, it follows you for the rest of your academic life, and it can impact your first job, right? So we would really like all of you to pay attention to this piece of learning very, very much. Really pay attention to it, right? And the syllabus quiz is also important because we want to make sure you know, because this course is a bit different. We want to make sure you know uh, how to get the grade that you expect to get, right? And so please pay attention. Really, you're paying attention to these two quizzes, and also they cover the academic honesty unit and also this video. If you just watch this video, understand it, and you can refer to the document, you're going to ace this syllabus quiz. Okay, with that, again, this is me. My name is Kai, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in class.